How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week. Is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday? Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. Started. Why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, people? How you guys doing? Welcome. No camera today, just gonna do a quick intro. Hello. How's everyone doing? I can't even remember where my screens are. I guess this is the screen. Here we go. That's one of the screens. Here's the other screen. Yeah, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys had a good day on the market today. I did not wake up in time to catch my public transits to work, so no trading from me today overall. Just sat and watched the market move. I was playing with my back testing softwares quite a bit, creating new scanners, creating new back tests for this new strategy that I want to deploy. So you know, as a good trader always should, playing with edges and playing with how I can maximize my money, how I can maximize my winners, how I can minimize my losers. So that's pretty much been my day today, playing with a couple softwares that I'm sponsored by, so you guys know where you can get the links for these sponsored softwares. Potentially we'll talk about some of the stuff that I've been doing over the weekend more with you guys, instead of talking about my watch list. I wanna have a little bit of a honestly, guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking about, you know, stopping live streaming completely and you know, creating offline videos of how I traded specific stocks, how I'm looking for, you know, maybe we'll do one stream a week or a weekend where we do you know, guest interviews and all the other fun stuff. But, you know, talking about daily levels and daily stocks with you guys doesn't seem to be getting anywhere. You know, I'm not really getting the views that I want. I've been doing this for a year now. It's not really getting anywhere. So I'm thinking, you know, I'll change up my style a bit. I'll move to offline videos where I discuss about how I traded my stocks, and then maybe once a week we talk about the upcoming week, like the week ahead or something. So we talk about the earnings names that we might be watching, sectors that we might be watching once a week, and every other day I'll just kind of release a video about how I traded this position or how I traded that position. So I'm thinking moving away from online streaming more, because it's not really getting me anywhere, at least with my current stream time, which is 8 o'clock at night. The you know, I appreciate the 2 or 3 people that show up, Dieter, John Vaughn, and TH, but you know, I can't keep doing this just for the 3 of you. You know, I would like to see some growth, so I'm gonna try and try some new things. Most likely going to be done with live streaming by the end of this month, if not by the end of next month or by the end of the year. So I'm trying to debate when I should stop live streaming and move to just offline videos. I'll keep you guys in the loop. Make sure to follow me on Discord, on Twitter, on Instagram, to stay in tune with what my plans are with this channel. But as we are live now, let's talk about what we want to talk about, which is mainly the names for tomorrow. The names for tomorrow, the names for the week coming up ahead. We got a very busy earnings board, starting with names tonight with Ford, VF Corporation, previously owners of Supreme. No longer do they own Supreme, they sold it. Waste Management, VF Corporation, FFIV, and Ford reporting today after hours. We got SoFi, PayPal, McDonald's, Pfizer, Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, Crocs, JetBlue reporting tomorrow pre-market. So basically those will be the names that we are interested in for tomorrow after hours, sorry, tomorrow intraday trading. We also have names like AMD, Alphabet, Snapchat, Visa, Reddit, all of which are reporting tomorrow after hours. So make sure you tune in for that at 8 o'clock, I guess, if we do go live. I guess tomorrow is not the end of the month. So yeah, show up tomorrow. We'll talk about these names tomorrow for sure, see how they reported, and we'll plan for them. More names throughout the week, lots of craziness happening on the earnings board, so make sure you tune in for those days as we will be preparing for all of these names. As I just mentioned not too long ago, what the hell was that noise? As I mentioned not too long ago, we are going to be looking at mostly I mean, yeah, we have a lot of stocks that reported earnings, and we have a lot of stocks that report earnings tomorrow, but I'm not really that interested for the earnings baskets at the moment, as I am interested in building a strategy for the small cap sector. So I want to talk about how I've been looking at the small cap sector for the last few days. So let me grab my affiliate sponsor link here real quick for you guys, so we can show you guys how powerful this tool is and why you guys need to think about getting this software. So there's the affiliate link in the chat. No matter what platform you're watching me in, check out the affiliate link. I'm going to quickly create a gap analysis tool where we're going to analyze a couple things over here on the market, okay? From 2017, let's just do 2018. From 2018 January till today, I want to look for stocks that gapped up more than 50%, have a volume of more than 10 million, market cap, there we go, market cap of at least 50 million, price of at least $1, and this is basically going to be our parameters for how we're going to scan for small cap stocks, okay? volume more than $10, price more than $1, market cap more than 50 million. You know, anything between 50 million to 2 billion, not 20 billion, is considered as a small cap. So looking for market cap ranges as those, apply filters. And now what the software is going to do is it's basically going to analyze all stocks that gapped up more than 50% from 2018 to January 1st until today. And just by doing that quick little analysis, you can see how 68% of these stocks, on average, 68% of the time, these stocks close red. They close red after gapping up. We have a total of 736 gaps in that time period that we're analyzing. Average gap value is 105%. So average, they gap up by at least 105% or more. And these are just extra statistics as to what sector and what markets do these stocks come from. But this is an interesting statistic right here. Gap day values. If you were to buy the stock 1 minute after it opened on the day that it gapped up, you would close the day most likely red. If you were to buy it 5 minutes after the stock gapped up, you are still likely to close the day red. So ideally, there is no reason to ever buy these stocks according to these statistics. Okay, let's continue looking at the stats. Looks like they gap up into the pre-market, and right around the day open / pre-market highs, they struggle. Average high a day, 10:53. Average low a day, 12:19 p.m. So that's pretty obvious over there as to how these stocks actually play out on the day that they gap up. Okay, let's dive a little bit deeper into it then. I want to look for stocks that only close red. Wow, look at that. That is an insane statistic. Either they reject from their pre-market highs and close red, or they break out of their pre-market highs and close green. Pretty simple. Very, very, very simple. Very easy statistic. Easy way to look at the market. Now, obviously, there are a couple variations where sometimes the stock takes out the pre-market high and still closes red. Stock takes out the pre-market low and still closes green. But those are very few. According to our statistics, we have right here from 2018 till now, 72% of these stocks close red. Most of those stocks are in the range of $2 through $3. So I'm thinking there could be a very easy setup over here where you just scan for these stocks, right? You just scan for these stocks and you just look to get short if they look weak under the days open, under pre-market highs, and you look to get long if they look strong above pre-market open and above the days open, so pre-market highs and above the days open. It's a fairly simple setup, very, very easy. So I'm building scanners over here. For example, today you would have taken short EVOK right around here as it takes out the 5-minute low, and you hold it till the end of the day. You get about $4 per share profit on that trade. AMIX, you're short right here on the break of $19. The stock closes at $12, so you profit again. And those are the only two names that show up on this scanner as an entry signal, whereas there's actually more than those few names that show up as a trade. Here's another one. GLUE takes out the pre-market high, consolidates into pre-market high, and then goes on a breakout run, monster breakout run. You could have literally had $8 and the stock goes up to $12, closes into $9 into end of day. You could have taken some out at $12, taken some out at $10. So these setups are short. Here's another one, right? Takes out the pre-market high and then just runs to the upside. Takes out pre-market high and just rips. So these patterns are very, very easy at this moment if you can just kind of analyze the pattern and keep an eye on the pattern. So I've been playing with the software all day. For example, let's do a very simple back test today. Okay, with you guys, let's do a very simple back test. General settings. Let's say we have $25,000. Okay, that's the PDT minimum for Americans, right? PDT minimum. Let's go long only. Have a fixed risk of $1,000 per trade. Gap day, fixed risk $1,000 per trade. Commission 5%. Gap filters. Let's do 2 years. So we're in 2024, 2022, October 31st till today. Okay. Minimum price of $1, market cap of at least 50 million, volume of at least 30 million, gap value of, let's do a very simple setup. Okay, very, very simple setup. This setup is going to be between 3 to 80% gap value. Okay, gap value, entry settings. Okay, I like this. Time of day is greater than or equal to 11 a.m. Bar closes higher than VWAP. Let's do greater than. Bar closes greater than VWAP. Time of day is less than or equal to 1 p.m. So if you look at the criteria here, pretty simple, very basic criteria. The time of day has to be between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. It cannot be lower than 11 a.m. It cannot be higher than 1 p.m. The criteria to enter the trade, the bar has to close above VWAP between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. If it closes above VWAP between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on stocks that meet this criteria right here, we go long. Simple. Our stop loss is 10% below the entry price. Again, very simple. I think 10% is very, very lot. Sorry, too much. Let's do 6% below entry price. Okay. Overview. So take a look at this. Overview, 25%, 5 minutes, gap day, disabled, market, fixed risk of $1,000. Simulate. Let's run this back test. Come on, load. It's taking some time over here. As you can see, we are now 600 trades being back tested so far. This is a very simple back test, right? And a very simple setup too. You're not. Wow, look at the setup over here. Isn't this insane? Your profit factor is 1.45. Your risk to reward ratios is 1.68. However, your win rate is less than 1. So you're not winning a lot more than you're losing. You're actually losing a lot more than you're winning. You're losing 53% of the time on this very simple setup, but you're winning 46% of the time. However, your wins are a lot bigger than your losers, almost by 1.68 times bigger than your losers. And your profit factor makes up for it. So now look at it. If you started with $25,000 at the start of 2024, October 31st, and you took this very simple setup where all you have to do is go long if the stock is closing above VWAP between 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Between 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, if the stock closes above VWAP, you're going long. And then you're taking your profits at the end of the day. You could also swing the trade if you want to. That's up to you, but we're not, calculating that into this back test at the moment. And for example, let me show you the stop out. This one actually got stopped out at the day's close. That's surprisingly enough. But here's another stock that got stopped out. You got long after it closed between 11 o'clock. Right, between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, it closed above VWAP, so it went long, but it got stopped out at minus 6% move below entry price. If you were manually trading this, you could have also stopped yourself out on the break of this candle right here. You could have stopped yourself out much earlier than where you actually get stopped out at according to the program. However, you understand the idea how a very simple back test, as simple as there's a reason why people say buy above VWAP, sell below VWAP, right? As simple as this back test is, you're only going long stocks that close above VWAP between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. You are making $128,000, let's just say $30,000 in 2 years on a $25,000 account. Isn't that amazing? This also calculates in 5% per trade commission, which is actually quite a bit. For going long, you're not actually going to be paying 5% commission for your trades, depending on who your brokerage is and what country you're trading from also. But for the most part, if you're only going long, which is what the setup is, you're not going to be paying 5% commission fees. So you'll be paying less fees, making more money, and basically getting a little bit better results on this trade overall on the long run. So isn't that crazy, these statistics on such a simple setup as that? So I've been playing with you know, setups and trade ideas all weekend, and almost losing sleep all weekend to the point where I did not manage to wake up on time today. Like, I was playing with all of these back tests and answers all day yesterday. I'm actually gonna save this one real quick. This one was a 515% winner. That's 1,000% winner. Same idea. I think these two are the same back test, but I can do this back test anytime I want. Again, look at this back test, 2,400%. On a $10,000 account, you made about 2,465% in 2 years in 903 trades. Your profit factor 1.8, profit factor 2.52, profit factor 2.01. So I've been playing with a lot of back testing, playing with a lot of you know, figuring out how I could build a system, a setup, an edge, how I can build an edge using one of the best softwares out there at the moment for traders, built by the traders, built for the traders, and now it's solving the traders' retardedness. For example, if you look at the two stocks that popped up on the scanner today, shout out to Trade Ideas, EVOK and AMIX. They also popped up obviously on this scanner. So if you go to ticker analysis tool, EVOK, you can actually look at all of the data on the stock the last time it gapped up. Okay, look at that. The last time it gapped up, it struggled at pre-market highs, sold off. Struggled at pre-market highs, sold off. Struggled at pre-market highs, went a little bit lower, opened under the pre-market consolidation low, and then sold off. Okay, look at this one. Doesn't this chart look very similar to today? But guess what? That's not today's chart. This is actually 0820. So that's whatever month before September is. Whatever month before September 20th. This is this chart. You're looking at a previous chart. But if you were to compare that chart to today's chart, they look exactly the same. Okay, here's the chart. Stock gaps up in pre-market, sells off, breaks the consolidation low off the open, and just crumbles. Look at that. Stock runs up, moves down in pre-market, opens into the consolidation low. Sorry, I'm burping. Opens into the consolidation lows, and then sells off for the rest of the day. Sells off for the rest of the day. Isn't that picture perfect? Copying past history and allowing you to now understand that, look, this stock has done this time and time again. It has a history of closing red. Actually, it has 100% history of closing red. It has 100% history of struggling into pre-market highs and also 100% history of struggling into the gap days open. If that's the case, then all you have to do is wait for the stock, EVOK, 5-minute chart, wait for the stock to get under the pre-market lows. Surprisingly enough, the pre-market lows also lines up with last year's low. Okay, take a look at this. Surprisingly enough, last year's low, bang, 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 1102, also lines up with that pre-market consolidation low, $11, and the stock actually opens right at that consolidation low, $11. Isn't that amazing? It's like all the stars aligning up just for you to smash a home run. This is exactly what you want to see. Pre-market low break. Well, it's not really pre-market low, but pre-market low consolidation break. Stocks opening price break. Opening range 5-minute break. You got 3 spots, 3 things that allow you to get into the trade. And multiple reasons to hold the stock pretty much all day for you. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity setting up. So I am very excited to look for these high gappers and faders for the rest of the year, because these are most likely going to be my bread and butter. I'm going to be transitioning more and more into small cap stocks, which means my watch lists are not going to be as huge as they used to be. That being said, my watch list for tomorrow is actually very huge, right? We have names like Ford, VFC, FFIE, SoFi, PayPal, Glue, Serve, GME, DJT, cryptocurrency names because they're going into all-time highs again. A nuclear energy sector which actually gapped up again. So, you know, I have a pretty extensive watch list, but my main focus for the rest of the year is going to be small caps because of the capabilities that I can unlock with the help of this tool. However, sadly, you can see right here, 2 days have passed since the last stock has gapped up 100%. I guess that's going to change to 1 day actually instead. Put links in your stream to your link tree, rookie. I do have it in my link tree, big dog. I just haven't updated it. I know. Thank you for the comments, though, Alpha Exchange. Yeah, I do plan to put it in here, but I just haven't done it for this software. But anyways, coming back to the software, if I see a stock gapping up more than 50 to 100%, my main focus is going to be those names. And then I'm going to be focused on my secondary basket, which is the earnings basket and any other name that shows up in the basket, such as DJT, a mover that we've been watching recently. DJT going absolutely bonkers. Monster trade. DJT actually set up for the cross VWAP long that I was talking about. That very simple setup. A setup so stupid that even a dog could trade this. Only thing that showed up under my scanner parameters today for DJT, a stock crossing above VWAP between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. DJT was the only stock according to the parameters that I coded in. Okay, take a look at this. Change from close between 3 to 80%. Volume more than 30 million. Price above $1. Between 60 minutes to 200 minutes after the open. Market cap of 50 million. Very simple parameters. DJT was the only one that ticked off. It actually rallied higher, got back below VWAP, and then got back above VWAP, started holding above VWAP. That pullback and then reject of the flush. Let me just show it to you on a bigger chart. DJT, 5-minute. So this right here could actually be looked as a higher day break fail. That higher day also lines up with the previous higher day right here at $46.27. So that right there could be looked as a higher day fail for people to look short, and you can see how people actually got short on the way down and took the stock all the way back down. But after that flush happened, into VWAP. We got bought right back above VWAP, and then we started holding above VWAP. So whoever started selling here and got short, they were looking for a bigger move to the downside that they didn't get. After them not getting the bigger move that they wanted, they will start covering their position, their short position more so, because they're not really getting the patterns that they want, and hence you will start getting the parabolic squeeze type of move over here that DJT kind of set up for. So you would have gone long somewhere over here, closed at the end of the day, and made a pretty good chunk of change, change a chunk, however that's said, on your profit on a stupid setup, right? Stupid setup, very easy setup. And that's the point I'm getting to, is just getting to creating a setup and then back testing the setup. Look how stupid of a setup can be as profitable as that, right? Within 2 years, turning $25,000 into $153 without even sizing up cumulatively, because cumulative sizing is a little bullshit if you ask me. You know, a lot of these back testers, a lot of these Twitter, FinTwit people, they all love talking about, oh, if you just compound 2% per time you win, and blah 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 blah, you keep sizing up and you keep getting better. Yes and no. When your account's small, compounding actually works marvelous, but then when your account gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you're not actually going to be able to find all the liquidity that you're looking for. For example, over here it says you're taking 10,000 shares long at VWAP over here when the volume is at its lowest pocket of its volume, right? So you got to understand that the chance of you actually getting 10,000 shares in one entry at that time of day, in the middle of the day, is pretty hard. You might have to work your position throughout the day by trying to get 10,000 shares in this whole area if you really believe in that long for you to play off. Because if you punch 10,000 shares on a $1 stock when it's not really doing a shit ton of volume, you'll also move the stock drastically. So you got to take these numbers with a grain of salt, and that's part of the reason why I didn't really make the risk management compound cumulatively. I made it a fixed risk of $1,000. So some of these ones you got to take it with a grain of salt, but for the most part, you can see how the sizing is fairly relative. These are stocks that are generating, you know, hundreds of millions of shares in a 5 minute, maybe I shouldn't say hundreds of millions, but in a 5 minute candle, the stock is generating almost 1 million shares off the open. It cools off a little bit, and then it starts generating again, 1 million shares. As the volume picks up, it triggers our entry criteria. You get long and you basically hold it into end of day. So things like those kind of setting up for us to take advantage on this setup. So very bullish on these two setups that I've kind of been back testing. The gap analysis tool has been really monumental in allowing me to deploy this setup, because look at this, close to green, right? Very simple. If the stock that gaps up more than 50% takes out pre-market high, the chances are they close at high a day. If the stock gaps up more than 50% and struggles at pre-market highs, the chances are they close red on the day, or they at least sell down and go into pre-market lows. So just tracking all of these statistics, looking at all of this data over the weekend has been a little confidence booster, a little I want to say it's making me want to focus on small caps more, a sector that I haven't really focused as much in my life. Also, one of my most loved setups, right? It's called the opening range 5-minute breakout. I have been wanting to deploy that setup for so long, but haven't found a market or a sector in which I could deploy in and have amazing results being poured out of it. But in this statistical scenario where 70 to 80% of stocks that gap up by more than 50% close red on the day, in that case, the opening range breakout strategy is actually a very easy strategy, and a strategy that you can actually deploy on small caps. So very, very excited to do that starting tomorrow. I would have actually smoked the EVOK and AMIX shorts today had I gone to the office, but sadly did not wake up in time to get to office in time, so did not smoke these shorts today, but looking forward to see what's set up tomorrow. Let's say we don't get any 50% gappers tomorrow, then what do? Then I actually go ahead and look to trade some of the stocks that reported earnings today after hours, such as Ford, VFC. Did VFC move anywhere today in the after hours? Look at that. VFC popping to the after hours a little bit. I like seeing that. Good job, VFC. Why is my anchored VWAP not showing up? There you go, anchored VWAP. I know FFIV gapped up a little bit. There's FFIV. Waste management, usually low volume, not something that I get too excited about as a day trade, but looks like waste management has also gapped up a little bit. Let me just throw in my anchored VWAP for that one, and now we can quickly talk about some of the movers over here from the earnings basket. Let's go take a look at Ford's earnings report. Ford. Okay, I only care about some important numbers. So obviously you reported blah 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 whatever, 46.2 billion, beating estimates of 41.1 billion, 49 cents per share, beating estimates of 47 cents per share. Total revenue was up 5% on a year to year. Ford Blue sales were up 3% on a year quarter to quarter. In the quarter, despite 2% decline in global due to discontinued low margin international combustion engine vehicles. Ford Pro sales up 13% year to year. Ford Model E sales fell by 33% year to year. Hybrid vehicle sales increased by 30% in the quarter. I'm guessing the year-to-year went down, however, if they're not explaining that part. Ford Model E reported an EBITDA loss of 1.2 billion, and that's sad. We are in the strong position with Ford Plus as our industry undergoes a sweeping transformation. We have made strategic decisions and take blah, 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 blah. I don't care about any of that. 10 billion... expects full year EBIT of 10 billion. Company anticipates full year free cash flow of 7.5 billion. Okay. We are down about 7% year to date, heading to the print for Ford. Honestly, don't really care about Ford. I never really cared to day trade Ford. Looks like it's selling off. There could be more short opportunities, but yeah, my dick just does not get hard to trade Ford. I'm sorry, it's just not a name that gets me too excited with its low ATR, with its stuck ranges. It's just not a name that has volatility behind it. Even if it sells off today in the after hours or tomorrow pre-market, it's just not a name that gets me too excited to trade. So I'm going to move away from Ford, talk about VF Corporation instead. VF Corp gapping up into a previous resistance area of 2150. You can see how 2150 has been a little bit of a barrier from all the way in the past. So all the way from the past, from 2023 going into 2024, we have really struggled to get above 2150 on VF Corporation. If we can get above 2150 and find buying above 2150, there could be a long there above it, but in my opinion, we're most likely going to be looking at resistance into 2150, at which point the stock sells back into at least $20 or so. Let's see if there is a short opportunity going into 20, and then maybe you can flip long from 20 on VF Corporation. Not expecting it to gap close all the way back into $17. If it does, I will be a little puzzled on that. 100% puzzled. Not a little, 100% puzzled. Let's go to FFIV, another name that reported earnings today, and I think actually gapped up to the north side. So that is FFIV. Let's go take a look at the all-time chart real quick. So this is the all-time high at $249. And the stock got pretty close to that all-time high marker, taking out the 52-week high, getting into the all-time high marker. So FFIE potentially a name to keep on watch. This is also a setup that looks very similar to ISRG. However, ISRG was a name that did this exact same setup into all-time high, whereas FFIV is actually doing the setup into 52-week high. So a little bit different, but same. Different, but same. So the setup is you're looking for a pullback into 224, 225, and then a bounce off of 224, 225 for us to look long. Not expecting a pullback all the way for a full gap close. If we get a full gap close, I'll be a little shocked once again. So expecting a pullback and a gap close into 224, 225 to hold up on FFIV for you to look long and enjoy a free ride back into the upside and a potential all-time high test incoming over the next few days and over the next few weeks over here on FFIV. The next few list of stocks over here that I want to talk about actually report tomorrow pre-market. It's going to be a name that I've been bag holding for God knows how long. It is SoFi. SoFi finally going back into $11 territory with positive news catalyst going into its earnings report. Now with earnings report tomorrow pre-market and a little overextended on the daily chart. It's anyone's guess where SoFi goes to. Does it go higher? Does it go lower? Your guess is honestly as good as mine. So I'm not going to predict, especially with earnings names. I don't like to predict at all. You know, I don't like to predict in general, but I do have this meme saying, you know, I am Prastradamus because I almost nail some levels and some plays sometimes. For example, I nailed that DJT play. You could have got it at $13. I told you it's going to $50. It's basically at $50 right now. Right? So I nailed that play for you. Prastradamus calls out some amazing plays for you. Hopefully you guys take advantage of it. But when it comes to earnings, you know, I don't like gambling. When it comes to earnings, I don't like gambling because we just don't know what we don't know. You don't know, you know nothing, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, right? So you know nothing, Jon Snow. You don't know what you don't know. So you just gotta be careful. PayPal, also another one of the stock that's reporting earnings tomorrow pre-market and has been on a little bit of a rally. McDonald's seems to have been fixing or working towards fixing its E. coli outbreak. I did mention that this is not too big of a problem. They solved the issue already. It looks like it seems to have been in onion supplier of some sorts. So let's see if those onions suppliers are the problem or there's layers to these E. coli problem over here and more downside maybe is expected in the near future. So McDonald's, keep an eye on that for that catalyst. But tomorrow we have earnings on McDonald's along with Pfizer, RCL, JetBlue, and Crocs, CROX. So here are some of the names that we are going to be watching very closely to see how they report earnings in the pre-market, what type of level set up in the pre-market, and how can we take advantage of it. Some small cap names that's popped up today. GLUE, a little bit of a late runner. It gapped up, yes, but not by much. It gapped up by like 30-40%. It didn't really hit that 50% marker that I look for. It hit 50% marker at one point, but then it pulled back into 20% marker. So it walked off of my scanner. Thankfully so, because hey, look at how the stock actually rallied higher and higher and higher, right? So gapped up 50%, opened up at near 20% gap up, and then started running into the late of the day. Took out the pre-market high and then had an even bigger monster run up on GLUE. A couple stocks actually did this today. SERV was another one that did that today. So obviously watching how these two stocks set up for the next few days. Is there more run up on GLUE and a bigger run up on SERV, or do these stocks put in a little bit of a backside and get ready for the short opportunities. Looking at SCRV, actually, that is a monster consolidation on SCRV here. Looks like the stock is getting ready for another run to the north side. So obviously keeping this one on watch, watching GLUE on watch for potential runners, and then potential backside being put into these names. NKLA, another runner, but without any catalyst. Apparently small cap names. What the hell are all these? Apparently EV names have been going up today. I didn't really see any other EV names up drastically. Rivian was up small. Tesla was red. Rivian was up small. NIO was up a little. I'm not sure why my internet's so slow today. I feel like my dad's downloading movies downstairs. I have frame drops also. I'm seeing it, 245 frame drops. I feel like my dad's honestly downloading movies downstairs, and he's fucking up the internet once again. This man always fucks up the internet. Yeah, he's fucking up the internet. Like, this should hit 1,000. Like, I'm at 200 megabytes right now. Dad. He never understands. Anyways, NIO, 10% up on NIO. Li Auto, not really doing anything. XPEV, was up a little bit, I guess. What the fuck is wrong with the internet today, man? XPEV up a little bit. So we are watching, PRCH. Is that another EV name? I'm not sure if PRCH is EV or not, but it is a small gap new. Porch Group. What is Porch Group? Not really an EV name, but basically the idea is the same. Look how it takes out pre-market high and runs up. Let's actually set this up as a scanner and back test this one. You guys want to back test this with me, or you guys want to talk about the watch list? Let's finish the watch list and then we'll do one last final back test, because I feel like there is something over here. What is this gap? %. So we don't want stocks gapping more than 50%, but we want stocks that gapped up at least 20%. Long, 25,000, 5 minutes, gap day. I guess we can do 1 minute. Gap day, market, fixed risk of $1,000 per trade, 5% commission, which is a lot. It's too much. 20 to 50%. Entry condition. Time of day. Greater than equal to 11 a.m. Add condition. See how easy it is to code in the back test? You don't need to type in fancy formulas or anything. Very, very easy. I love this software. You guys need to check out Flash Research. I'm telling you, it is one of the most powerful softwares that I've been playing with. Trade Ideas allows you to back test, but it only allows you to back test up to 65 days. I'm back testing up to 7 years on here. This is insane. So bar close greater than pre-market high, add condition, time of day, less than or equal to, I guess, 1 p.m. Okay. Exit settings, entry price below 6%. I'm wondering if that might stop me out. If I'm taking the pre-market high break, right? We just saw a couple setups right now, which is GLUE. So I'm taking the pre-market high break, or even PRCH, right? That's the pre-market high break right there. What is 5% from there? Okay, PRCH. So this is the pre-market high break. What is 5% from there? Don't get stopped out. 5% is actually back to VWAP almost. I guess, yeah, 5%, 6% is good. 6% below entry price. Conditional exit, none. Take profit at end of day. For now, we'll put take profit at end of day. Overview. Everything looks right. Everything looks right. Bar close above pre-market high. So back test for the last 2 years. Simulate. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, let's go back to working on our watch list. So Nikola popped up quite a bit without any catalyst because some of the other EV names, mainly the Chinese EV names. The China sector was actually strong today. So my guess is the Chinese EV names and Chinese stocks are rebounding a little bit. And that's part of the reason why NKLA actually popped up today. So I'm not expecting NKLA to sustain its 20% move tomorrow. If NIO and other names actually have a little bit of a boost and a pump to them, maybe NKLA can join the party. But for the most part, I'm expecting NKLA to find a little bit of a barrier, a little bit of resistance, right back into previous resistances, right into this 550. And if we get above this 550, potentially we can see a little bit of a move into $6 or higher on NKLA. So if you're looking for a fader, NKLA might be one of them. GME popped up by 10% today. No reason, no news, no catalyst. GME popped up by 10% today. So potentially keeping this one on watch for maybe a day two runner or a day two pullback. DJT, John Wan asking, what is in store for DJT tomorrow? I mean, look, buddy, your guess is as good as mine. Because the main guess was if you buy it at $13, it's at least going back into the 200-day moving average. We have done that. Now, the second guess, I will say, as a long-term picture, going into election, going into all the craziness, Trump being on Joe Rogan, causing the stock to go up 21.5%. I think the stock sets up for a parabolic move up to the $50, maybe even $70, $80 tomorrow morning into the pre-market because of all the hysteria, because of all the craziness and the hype behind it that's going up. It possibly goes into $56, $60 and then sets up for a monster short intraday. That is what I am looking for. I am looking to short DJT the higher it goes tomorrow, especially if we open up into $56.50 and struggle at this price point, not able to show me buyers above $56.50. I'm looking to short DJT. But if we're actually staying strong above $56.50, then potentially you want to be a little careful as DJT is going to continue its rally like it did today. All right, so just want to throw that one out there. Be careful looking to short DJT. If you're looking to short a name in the DJT realm, maybe the one for you to short is PHUN. The higher PHUN goes, every time DJT goes higher, PHUN actually sets up for a much easier short in my opinion. So keep an eye out for that. MARA. Why did I say FARA? It's because T8 said fly, fly, fly. So I'm said FARA for some reason. I'm not sure why. Mara was the one that's on my mind. Look at how Mara's kind of creating a little bit of a box right above right below the 200-day moving average. So if Mara takes out this 200-day moving average with some oomph, with Bitcoin moving higher, meaning we find 19 breaking, let's say 1920 because that's today's high. So if we find buying above 19 and above $19.20 on Mara, especially with Bitcoin going higher, I think there's an easy no-brainer long on this position. As Bitcoin is now going into what, $70,000 again. So BTC USD rallying, taking MSTR higher, taking a bunch of cryptocurrency positions higher. So watching all of these names without a doubt. MARA, IBIT, RIOT, MSTR, COIN. However, MARA was the stock that I found the cleanest setup on. Everything else is not as clean as MARA to the long side, in my opinion. You have to apply some finesse, apply some skill to look for a trade on Coinbase, on MSTR, on IBIT. But for, I guess even Coinbase is a little bit simpler looking at Mara's style, but nothing as simple as Mara when it comes to a trade opportunity. Either it stays above 19 or it sells off below 19 and struggles according to what Bitcoin is doing. So watching Mara more so closely when it comes to that sector. OKLO breaking out along with SMR breaking out. So both of these stocks going higher with volume coming back into them. This is the nuclear energy sector. Not too long ago, NNE was also in this basket, but NNE, if you remember correctly, that one sold off pretty drastically to the downside and also was not the stock with the catalyst to begin with. So down you go. I guess not down, but it just struggles a little bit. Michael Noss bullish on Bitcoin. Are you? I don't really have an opinion. I'm not bullish nor bearish. I don't care. I don't have a position in Bitcoin. You know, whatever direction it goes in, I will take advantage of it, as long as there's volatility in that sector, which there is always. There's going to be day trades, and as long as there's volatility, as long as there's day trades, I have fun with it. If there's no volatility and no day trades, I just don't care about what Bitcoin does or where it goes, because I personally don't have a position in it at all. So it means nothing to me to be bullish or bearish. It's just an unnecessary bias that's going to stop me from getting into an actual day trade. So no bias, don't really give a shit where it goes. URA, after gapping up, URA has been holding above its gap up also. So this is the uranium ETF. Not something that maybe predicts the moves on these nuclear energy names, but if nuclear stocks are moving, these uranium ETFs are something to keep an eye on, because they also potentially give you a little bit of a trade opportunity. So URA ETF today up almost 2%, holding above its previous gap up level. So keeping an eye on this one, but not really keeping an eye on this one. TSM breaking down and getting ready to close the gap and test that previous all-time high of 193.50, 194. So potentially holding 193.50 and 194 area and going back higher, or getting back below after having a monster earnings breakout on TSM. TSM did have a negative news, if I remember correctly. They are banning a certain chip to China because China is using those chips in their Huawei phones or some shit. So TSM canceling China certain chips to China most likely will be escalating more tensions between Taiwan and China. You know, TSM just getting rolled when China comes in to invade them. That'll be hilarious. That'll be hilarious to see, you know, how that whole thing takes place, how America steps up, what happens to TSM. They have previously said they are not worried about bombing TSM, or maybe it was America who said, we are not worried about bombing TSM factories if China actually invades Taiwan. Now that's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. That's how far people are willing to take this whole battle. So be ready for anything. I think this latest catalyst could potentially increase some tensions between Taiwan and China, but not really something that Yeah, hilarious. Millions die. Bro, millions die every single day, man. I'm over it. Death is normal at this point. How many people are dying in Ukraine right now? How many people are dying in Ukraine? You're just upset because you're Taiwanese and they're gonna be invading your ass. I'm Indian. I don't gotta worry about any invasion unless World War III actually happens. 36,000 casualties since the war began 2 years ago. Okay, millions of people be dying every day, bruh. Just wait till the nukes drop. You won't even have your job that you have. I won't even be streaming anymore. None of it matters. It's all hilarious. Life is a big joke. Laugh it off and die happy. Or you know, have a butt plug up your butt and just be upset with every single thing in life and then die upset. Die sour with your butt plug up your butt. Far Cry sounds cool. What's that, a movie? No, it's Far Cry's a game, right? If I remember Far Cry. Far Cry was a fun game. Far Cry was a fun fucking game. Whatever happened to those? Far Cry 8? They have Far Cry 8 now? Holy shit. Oh, Far Cry 7. Far Cry 7 2025. This was a legendary poster. I remember that poster. Fallout. Oh, yeah. Fallout the TV show was amazing. Fallout the TV show was amazing. Fallout the wow, look at this. Sheesh. Profit factor of 2.78. Risk to reward ratio of 4.77, but your win rate is less than 30%, 40% win rate. In 2 years, you're making about $110,000 just by going long. Okay? Just by going long. When the stock takes out the pre-market high. And you're risking about $1,000. So once again, the whole idea, you know, the whole idea of you're not going to be able to take 4,000 shares into that candle breakout high. Actually, you might be able to, because this stock is doing 600,000 shares into that breakout. You might actually be able to take 5,000 shares into that breakout, and your stop never triggers, right? Your stop is 6% below your entry. It never triggers. If that stop triggers and you lose on this position, you would have been so pissed. You would have been so pissed. Okay, anyways. Is that even the pre-market high? That's not even the fucking pre-market high. The pre-market high is over here. Why am I not long into the $2 break, and why am I long into $3 break? Is this setup based on pre-market high? It is. The bar closes above the pre-market high. Yeah, it should have taken me long somewhere here. So I should have been making a little bit more money on this trade technically. But there's the idea. Let's go take a look at some of the stocks that we get stopped out on. There we go. 6% stop from the entry. We get stopped out. 6% stop from the entry. We get stopped out. Oh, so it also takes trades as long as they close above the pre-market high. Right. Right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Pre-market high break, stop 6% below, which was exactly that range below. You get stopped out. The stock just chops back and forth, does nothing, and then basically closes below the day's open / pre-market high anyways. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with the 6% stop. So here's another setup. Here is another setup where you can now catch some of the squeezers and memers that have been going around. So let's see if you would have been able to catch PLCE. This one was one of the recent squeezers, memers. Takes out the pre-market high. You make a good chunk of change on that. SGMO, I don't even remember this ticker. Maybe because I wasn't really trading small cap names as much. Save, you wouldn't really trade this because this was a specific catalyst trade, so you wouldn't even trade Save. PRQR, not sure what the catalyst was on this, but what if we set it up in a way where, hold up, I have an idea. Entry settings, add condition, bar close has to be greater than pre-market high and also greater than high a day, because high a day, if high a day is already higher than pre-market high, I don't want it to take the trade. But if high a day is lower than pre-market high, then the stock should only get into the stock, or the trade should only get into the position when we're taking out the pre-market high. So this should kind of help me with that side. 20 to 50% gappers, 50 million market cap. Let's see if it actually works as intended. Coming back to our watch list. Nothing really extra on the watch list for me to talk about because, you know, not many names really reported earnings today. Very few names reported earnings today that at least we care about, or I care about. FFIV, VF Corporation, and Ford. I only care about VF Corporation and FFIV. There's a bunch of names that report tomorrow pre-market that we care about, so we kind of walk through those. And here is a little bit of a refined setup where your profit factor drops, or actually goes higher a little bit. Your win rate evens out. You're now at a 50% win rate. You're not taking some of the shittier trades, but you're also making a little bit less money. So in 2 years, you made about $61,000. Now your account balance is at $86,000. You started at 25K at the start of 2024. Sorry, at the start of 2022. And at the end of 2024 here, you have about $86,000 in your bank account. Solid win rate. The win rate's better. I want to see how the stock's getting into position. So high a day, pre-market high. Okay, that's not bad. I want to see some of these ones. High a day is not above pre-market high. High a day is not above pre-market high. Scroll down to randomly. How many trades did you take? Max drawdown period, total trades. Where's total trades? 52 trades only. Okay, total trades of 52 only. That's surprising. I guess it's only... Take that. I mean, look, the stats speak for themselves. This is a little bit more refined, right? You're only taking the entry if the pre-market high is higher than the day's high and the stock breaks out a pre-market high between 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock on stocks that gapped up between 20 to 50%. Very simple setup. Just another simple, easy setup. I'm going to actually add this as a... I'm going to save this. New strategy. I'm going to call it... $20 to 50% high break on gappers. So this is one of the setups that I might be looking to take to catch the stocks like GLUE today, right? Let's actually code this into Trade Ideas and see how that works. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Check out the link below in the description or in my Linktree page for that software. So we're going to code in alert window, search alerts, damn, I don't think this has a pre-market high, does it? Oh my, of course it does. Why would it not? Add alert. we take out pre-market highs, window specific. I want between 20 to 50. Relative volume, don't care. Volume today, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million. Don't care, don't care. Market cap, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 50 million market cap. Hide unused. 20 to 50% gappers. Price. I want price above $1. Volume at least 30 million shares being done on the day. I need to do more. Time of day. Time of day. Add filter. 60 minutes after the open. Well, no, 60 minutes is 10:30. So 120 minutes after the open. That's no. 90 minutes after the open. So 11 o'clock is 90 minutes after the open. Up to 1 o'clock, which is, let's say, 200 minutes. Right? 200 minutes. 49.99. Okay, 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there you go. So this is pre-market high break, 20 to 50, blah 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 blah. Market cap, time of day, pre-market high breaks, exchange, NASDAQ symbol. All right, let's create it. Now, based on that, what stocks would we have had to trade today that popped up on the scanner? Really? Nothing? Wait, do we want to do 90? 90 to 200. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 90 to 200 is fine. Really? No stocks we would have traded today on this? No GLUE? GLUE should be popping up here. Let's just do 20 minimum. The PRCH, I think that was the name that what's his face? BTC to 70k, I love it. MSTR to 420, BTC to 14, 420.69. No, that's stupid. Why do I even allow this guy in my chat anymore? PRCH, like PRCH and GLUE should have popped up on here as breaking out on volume. Okay, let's see. Well, did they actually take out the pre-market high? GLUE 5 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute. Got the pre-market high, but this happened at 10 o'clock. PRCH. How do I make sure that these pop up on the filters? That's the problem that we're trying to solve over here. Prad, you graduated small cap since I've been busy? Yes, sir. I've been playing with the software that has shown me a lot of secrets for small caps that I want to dabble with. I've been messing with this whole weekend has just been me playing with a software that shows me a lot about stats about small caps. For example, here, let me show you this, what I've been showing the stream pretty much all day today. Gap analysis, right? So I'm filtering since 2018, starting at 2018. Stocks that gap up by more than 50%, have more than 10 million volume, have more than 50 million market cap, and are priced at $1 or higher. By applying these filters, you see that 72% of the time these stocks close red. Most of the time these stocks are absolute dog shit garbage stocks that don't have value to them, right? Pump and dumps, pump and dumps. If you look at the stats over here, very simple trend. Pre-market, they rally higher. Off the open, they sell off. Pre-market, they rally higher. Off the open, they sell off. Pre-market, they rally higher. Off the open, they sell off. This is only for the stocks that close red. Now, let's flip it to stocks that close green. They rally higher in pre-market, then they break pre-market highs and they rally even higher, right? They break pre-market highs and they rally even higher for the green ones. But however, we know that the green ones only happen on a 30% scale. They don't happen very often. So if more often they close red, if more often these close red, then there should be a very simple setup that we could deploy on a setup that has what? For example, what is this? All gaps. 736 gaps, 68% of the time they close red. Around 11 o'clock is the average high a day. Around 12 o'clock is the average low a day on the gap day. Here's a gap day chart, right? So if I have stats like this to back me up on a small cap position, I am going to just smack that trade. For example, today I had a real good edge on this trade. AMIX popped up. Let me show you right here. AMIX popped up in the pre-market by more than 50% with good amount of volume. EVOK popped up above 50% with a good amount of volume. Here you go, gapped up, gapped up, gapped up, and HCTI. These were the only three stocks that gapped up above 50% and were above $1. If you were to deploy a simple setup as taking the opening range 5-minute breakout on this three stocks over here, you would have only entered 2 stocks. Okay, for example, I built the scanner on Trade Ideas. You would have only entered 2 positions. EVOK short right here as the trigger shows up, you would have been in the money the whole day. AMIX short right here as the trigger shows up, and you would have been in the money all day. Only 2 stocks. HCTI or HCIT, I think that was, HCTI was the third name. And this one never really breaks the opening range 5-minute low, the opening 5-minute candle low. So you never even get short on this position, right? You never even get short on this position and you just stay away. But how do I catch the names that actually run? For example, GLUE, PRCH are some of the ones that did not gap up by 50%. For example, GLUE gapped up 30%, PRCH gapped up by 20%. But later on in the day, these stocks had a monster run-up. So how do we catch these monster run-ups? We have seen as a statistical edge for stocks that close green, historically, they take out the pre-market high and then rally. So if that's the case, then I want to build a very simple back test, a very simple scanner with parameters as simple as if the stock takes out the pre-market high. Maybe I should remove the time parameter because the time parameter is actually kind of cucking it a little bit. Let's take out the time parameter. Where's my back test? Where is it? Where's my alert box? Did I close it? Okay, fine, fuck. New alert window. Let's make a different alert window right now. Windows 20% at the very least. Nothing. 3 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Nothing. Price $1. Market cap 50 mil. Let's take out the time of day, but I don't want it to be later than, let's say, 1 o'clock. So how many minutes after the open is 1 o'clock? 60, 60, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1 o'clock. So let's just say 200 minutes. Fuck it. 200 minutes. 210 minutes is basically 1 o'clock. Let's just say 200 minutes. Nice and easy number. All right, fine. Fuck it. 200. Who cares? Okay. Breaking the pre-market high on that case. Okay. PM high break on gappers. Now, GLUE should show up and PRCH should show up, I'm expecting. That's crazy. See, like I'm expecting PRCH and what did they gap up at? GLUE gapped up by 30%. PRCH gapped up by 21%. Huh. Alright, maybe we just take out the time of day feature and then try. Wow, that is an awesome program, so clean. That's a nice edge, to be honest. Yeah, for sure. You're trading on positive EV with that. This is really nice stuff, bro. You're going to do well exploring this. Thank you. There was an SMB webinar today. I think they talked about a similar setup about stocks gapping up 30% pre-market if they break pre-market high. Really? Was it on YouTube, this webinar, or was it like a link-only webinar and they didn't really talk about it? Can you share that link with me, Dieter? Because I would appreciate that. Like, I'm not gonna get any sleep if you know private link. Fuck, how did you get the private link? How the fuck did you get the private link? You recorded it? Can you send me the recording if you recorded it? You got an email, okay. Why the fuck did I not get an email? These guys are cog blocking me, dude. Search alerts takes out the pre-market highs. You didn't record it? Fuck. Can you check your email to see if clicking on that link will open up that webinar again? If so, send me that link. Check your email for that link to see if it opens up the webinar again. If it does, send me that link, please. Pre-market high. Mostly to sell their education plan. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. That's usually how it goes. Taking out pre-market high. Let's do 15% instead. Like, what is the thing that's stopping Glue and PRCH from showing up? Oh, maybe it's their market cap. Maybe it's their market cap, Brad. Do these stocks even have a market cap of 50 million? Let's go check that. Where is my pages? I have so many pages open. Holy fuck. GLUE. What is your market cap? 500 million. 200 million. So why are these not showing up? Oh, maybe they did not have 30 million volume off the open. There we go. Here we go. The volume was the problem. Okay. But we also got way too many tickers in that basket. So let's go 30% change from close. Okay. History today. Really? AMIX made that many new highs? Oh, this was in pre-market. Gotcha. None of that matters. None of that matters. None of that matters. None of that matters. Okay, maybe we do add a fucking time restraint on this. Let's do 60. Really? Just the time restraint just fucks it up that quickly? 5 minutes after the open. History today. Really? Just putting the time fucks it all up, eh? Oh, this only calculates a new pre-market high. That explains it so much. And obviously after the stock opens, after 9:30, it doesn't check if it's actually going above the pre-market high. All it's checking is to see if it's making a new pre-market high. But when the market already opened, it's not necessarily making a new pre-market high. It's making a new high. So that explains why we're not seeing anything on that side. Let's go back into the volume filter, throw in 30 million. 20% from the close. Time of day, let's keep that at 60. And hopefully they show up now the right way as we intended it to. Kinda the right thing, but not necessarily. I mean, Jesus, I don't want every single high to be blasted. Oh my god, this is every single new high. But this is basically what we wanted it to do, okay? Basically what we wanted it to do. Configure. We want it to only show once. Okay, this is showing all of them. So only one alert, max alert 1. The first time it happens, I want it to show me once. And we don't want it any longer than 1 p.m. because we don't want to go long after 1 p.m. We want to go long between 10:30 to 1 p.m. And now we should have exactly what we're planning to do. Come on, don't fail me here, please. Are you fucking kidding me? Great show, Prad. You covered a lot of stuff. See you tomorrow. Remember, you have 7 guys and sometimes Ani that follow you every night. I appreciate that, John. I know you're saying this because I sounded a little down off the start of the show. It's mainly, honestly, yeah, I'm a little demotivated. That's not, you know, not wrong in saying that. It's okay to be demotivated because I'm not seeing any growth on the channel. What the fuck is going on here? I'm not seeing any growth on the channel, but at the same time, I'm not gonna stop completely. So I'm still gonna post videos and stuff. I'm gonna, you know, break down on volume. Is it volume again? Oh, you're right. I think it was volume. If the stock doesn't even have 10 million shares for this breakout for the day, do I even really care about it? Like, god damn it. Okay, let's just do 10 million at the very least instead of doing 30 million. 60 to 200. I do want the 60 to 200, so we need to have that limit in. Anyways, John, yeah, look, right now I feel a little demotivated, and I'm saying that, you know, I wanna stop streaming at night and create videos. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the month or at the end of the year, I'll just be like, ah, fuck it, let's just continue. I don't know. I'll probably change my mind again. What was the fucking pre-market volume on this stock, man? Pre-market volume 5 million, PRCH 1 million. So maybe we do at the very least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have no clue. I have no clue what the hell is going on. Now it's probably time of the day because it's not breaking before. Yes, now that was time of day because it's not breaking out after 10:30. It's actually breaking out before 10:30. Ta-da! So AMIX, this is coming out at 9:30 though. You're not really getting into this trade at 9:30. That's the problem. GLUE, yeah, it made a new high at 9:30. Yes, but this is not the trade idea. This is not the setup. The setup is not this. We want it to get long on the break of the pre-market high. So we need to look at something different here. Maybe search for filters more. I guess I can't code that into trade ideas, but you guys get the idea. There is a clean setup here that I want to start abusing, and thanks to Flash Research, which is a website that I've been playing with a lot, and I'm going to continue playing with it for the rest of the night. I mean, you are able to backtest so much on here, and the backtest is so easy. It's just as simple as coding in these simple parameters in there, and along with the backtest, as I was saying, maybe you didn't see this one yet, right? So for example, today's gappers, EVOK, right? EVOK gapped up. Go to ticker analysis tool, see that it gapped up. Sorry, you see the stock on the scanner, right? You see the stock on the scanner, then you go to the ticker analysis tool, then you type in the ticker name, and now you get all the data on the ticker. So clearly the last 4 times the stock gapped up, it has closed red. 100% closing red on the day that it gapped up, more than 50%. Okay, I mean, not just sorry, there's no more than 50%. It's just anytime the stock is gapped up, it has closed red 4 out of 4 times. Then you on the fly, you get a couple links that you can click on to see the float. So you see that the float's over here. You can also go read the dilution tracker on the name, see if they have any money on their books or not having money on their books, and you can kind of get quick little tips on all that side. But what I really like seeing is the previous day charts. The last time the stock gapped up, look at this. Right before the market even opens, you get to analyze the chart of when it last gapped up. Over here, struggled into pre-market highs, opened lower, and then sold off. Okay, that's interesting. Gapped up, struggled into pre-market highs, opened at pre-market highs, and then sold off. Okay, that's interesting again. Let's go here. Gapped up, sold off, struggled at the pre-market consolidation lows, opened at the pre-market consolidation lows, and then sold off. Huh. Okay, even more interesting. Let's continue. The last time, 2024, whatever month is before September 20th of that month, the stock gapped up, sold off, opened at the pre-market consolidation lows, and then closed red. Notice how similar this chart and today's chart on EVOK are. Okay, watch this. Come on, man, stop lagging. Notice how similar this chart and this chart is. Gap up in the pre-market, gap up in the pre-market, sell down a little bit, sell down a little bit, open exactly where it sells off into the low of the pre-market consolidation, opens exactly at the low of the pre-market consolidation, sells off from the open all the way till the close, sells off all the way from the open till the close. I mean, you didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was just get close at the open. Your stop was somewhere above $14 maybe, and your reward is all the way down to bankruptcy. So I'm so excited to start trading these small cap names over here every single day. Very, very excited to trade these small cap names. Oh, sorry, John Vaughn's comment was actually covering the things I was trying to show you. So you can see how the last 4 times it gapped up, it closed red, and the high of day was at 9:30 the last 4 times. What was the high of day today? 9:30. Right? History repeats itself. History repeats itself. For example, here's another one, AMIX today. The only 2 stocks that fit our criteria. This stock closed 50% red, 50% green the last 2 times it gapped up. Here's the gap day stats, a little choppy back and forth, but as long as the stock opens into the pre-market high and struggles into the pre-market high, you can look short. If the stock opens into the pre-market low and finds strength above the pre-market low, you look long. Very simple. AMIX gaps up, struggles into the pre-market high, opens into the pre-market high, sells off. Had it actually opened into these ranges low and to $12, it would have been a long, in my opinion. So very, very interesting what's going on over here that I'm like learning from the stock market, learning from this awesome software called Flash Research. So go check out Flash Research. Let me paste that link again for you guys, and I'll update it on social media, on all other areas. I can't wait to smack the market tomorrow. I wish you guys best of luck. Good luck on the market tomorrow. No camera today, sadly. We're gonna fix that camera. It's not working for some reason. We're gonna fix that camera. Wish you guys an amazing day tomorrow. Lots of activity expected with the earnings names. Even more activity expected from DJT, as this one has been going absolutely crazy recently. Shout out to Donald Trump. I don't know if you guys heard that Donald Trump podcast on Joe Rogan Experience. It was amazing. I had a lot of fun listening to that podcast. Donald Trump is an absolute comedian, if you ask me. He is so funny. He is hilarious. He is one of the most funniest presidents I've ever seen in my life. I love listening to Donald Trump talk. He make the stock go crazy. Let's see tomorrow. We'll see if there's going to be a parabolic squeeze that we can short into, or we can join the parabolic squeeze to the north side. Very, very excited. Luke Halter is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out Luke Halter. He streams under the channel Free Advice Guy on multiple websites, on twitch.com, on x.com, and on YouTube. I'm not sure if he streams on TikTok and all other areas. We previously had Luke Halter on the stream for an interview, but I will be having him on for an interview again somewhere down the road. The last one we had was very finicky because I had software issues. I wasn't prepared enough, and I felt very bad about how that came out. So we want to give Luke Halter another fair shot. We're gonna have him on somewhere down the road. But for now, go check out his streams. Free Advice Guy on YouTube, on x.com, and on Twitch. There we go. Last but not least, wish you guys a great market tomorrow. Have a great night. It's time for me to head out. Peace. Good night, boys and girls. Another brand new week up after the after hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.